Is this thing rolling? I really hope you cut this out. Please cut this out.
I could cut it out.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think.
Well, let's like pretend this isn't happening so we can do an actual intro.
Spiderman Daily Bugle.
All right. So we are launching.
Amazing
Spider-Man Daily Bugle. We're launching a book club-esque idea, and for the first month we picked, as Jessica so elegantly hollered, Amazing Spider-Man Daily Bugle #1. This is cover B. So thank you, Jessica, for being a distraction. At one point or another, we can all say that we have opened this book. So, I actually took the first crack at this. I read it actually right when we got home.
Yeah.
I read half of it the night we got home. And was unable to return to it. And Justin said, bro, don't even bother reading it because he said, we'll do it where he read it a week ago, she read it today, and I just never finished it.
No, it was, he read it
a week ago.
You read half of it,
I read half of it.
didn't read it. Remember, that was earlier. I haven't read it yet. I didn't read it until like an hour ago.
I think we've all read the whole thing through now.
I have skimmed it.
Okay.
I have seen every page this book has to offer.
That's good enough. The words don't matter.
So, no.
All right.
Okay, where do you jump in?
Okay, let's talk about some highlights. What did everybody like about the book? You want to start, Jessica? I think you have some good ones.
They mentioned Squirrel Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're off to a great start.
I don't remember.
Okay, don't hold that against Jessica. That's honestly how she reviews stuff. You put her on the spot, and she's like, "Well, Squirrel Girl's there."
I go blank.
Yeah.
I think my highlight would be before I knew where the book was going with itself. Like I got this little bit of hopefulness when it showed Peter working at the Daily Bugle. And they basically, cut him down.
Yeah.
Like, because he used to have this big important position at the Daily Bugle, and they're like, no, you can't have that position back. Okay, I'll just be a photographer. Freelance. He's like, what the heck? I mean, come on, man. He's been the photographer there for what? Almost 60 years? 50-something years? Like, he can't be anything.
And he only looks like he's in his 40s.
Yeah, that's just the way they drew him. I was going to say that for later. Alright, Wesley, you have any highlights?
Okay. So I know it's funny because I said I've only read half of it or whatnot, but I didn't hate the premise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were discussing how the name is a tad bit misleading because Spider-Man's kind of only in the background. They threw Amazing Spider-Man on there just to be like, hey, it's a Spider-Man book.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. It's not really about Spider-Man. The premise is cool, though. It's just when I was reading it, I was like, I've been bamboozled. But I do like the premise. I just wish it wasn't called Amazing Spider-Man.
I wish it was called Daily Bugle. Yeah.
That I would have. Okay, I know what I'm doing.
I respect that. Yeah.
But my compliment is that it is a cool premise.
It is.
Nothing else.
I agree, and I will say, in all fairness, wherever they're going with it, it may be really interesting. Yeah. Because I like investigative stuff. That's one of my favorite things about Batman books, like the detective investigation type stuff. Right. So, I mean, there's a chance that might be good, but I think I was underwhelmed with what they're investigating.
I know. I think one of the reasons I didn't hate it was because I already knew it didn't have too much Spider-Man in it.
Yeah, she was warned
So I kind of expected it, but it wasn't bad. I did like the investigative part and the ending. I mean, well, not just the very ending, but I don't know.
Okay. Also, spoilers are implied. Okay. We're implying that everyone has read the book.
There's a whole class missing. There's a whole bunch of students missing. There's a professor missing. His apartment explodes. And then there's someone hanging there, and for some reason webs aren't dissolving.
It's getting really
So I mean, it is actually interesting. I wouldn't mind reading the second one.
Emulator.
I will say it's the webs are getting very tangled with the whole story.
Okay, there we go. Can we get a web joke counter?
It's not going away. Literally, that's how the book ends. But I will make a point. I like to, especially with newer comics, I like to talk about illustration. So, the artwork. Some of it was good. Some of it was not so good, in my opinion. We kind of hinted at it. I don't like the way they drew Peter Parker. He looked like he was in his 40s.
Honestly, from what I remember, most of the art is actually fine. It's just the Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I would call like how they draw other people kind of, but this is my preference, sort of mid. Like I don't hate it.
Yeah. Okay.
Backgrounds and coloring,
the city,
was good.
Yeah, I really liked the part.
So for me, the cleanest looking part was when it showed Spider-Man and Koi Boy, and they were drawn really well, and the background stood out. And I was like, if every page was like this, you know?
Yeah.
I actually thought that was neat. So, I mean, I really didn't hate this book. It's kind of funny to laugh at some of it. But,
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the point of this project is to try something a little different. So.
Yeah.
But with that, any final thoughts, anybody?
I would say for us, we have too many books going on to keep it on the pull list. It just, once you start talking about all our favorite characters and then the series that are just good right now, to me, if your store has it for like $2, like we bought it for $2, and this week they had a sale for $3.
$3, yeah.
And if it was $2 again, I might have been more tempted. But at full price, there's just too many good books going on right now. But it's certainly worth reading and seeing if it's something you're into.
Yeah, and I think a book's probably got to scratch and claw its way into some of our pull lists these days.
Yeah, there's just there actually is a lot of good stuff going on right now.
Right.
But that's not to say you shouldn't take a chance on it if you have the money to spend on it.
Yeah, I think I may try to YouTube after the conclusion. I may YouTube a sort of review, see where they went with it.
Because it does end at least on something where you go, book 2 might be interesting.
Yeah. That's why I might read it online.
Yeah.
Not actually.
Well, let me know if you do.
Okay.
I will.
So.
Because it does seem like the second one.
Do you want to announce what we're gonna?
Yeah, I just figure we need to come up with a grading system, like a universal grading system. Yeah. And we don't have one yet, but maybe it could.
I was gonna say what it said on the
last page,
like where it shows the cover for the next one.
Yeah.
Oops.
Maybe we could give it like a grade of check it out.
Okay.
I don't know.
What are our options?
We don't have an official.
Are we gonna put a number on it?
I would give it like a
1 through 10 or something.
This page does show. It can't be real.
Right here.
Did I? What does that say? I can't read now.
It happened before.
So.
Ooh, that's good.
I think it has to do with the last page.
Oh my gosh. Okay, why am I the one up here doing this? I don't know what I'm doing. The light's not great, but there it is.
You can just find it.
Alright, let's.
I would give it like a solid 6 or 7 out of 10.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Alright, how about first time? This is our rough draft of a scale here. Let's go, 1 through 10. You can use 0.5s if you want to.
Okay.
And then let's give it like a title to go with it, like
to check it out or read it or
hot book,
book,
or like kind of cool or
kind of. I would say my grade is going to be a little unfair, but maybe not since I've skimmed through all of it. I'd say 6.5. Check it out if you have the time or the money.
Mm-hmm. I think mine would be a 6, but I could totally see it being like an 8 for somebody else. And I'm gonna follow that up with I'll check it out from a distance.
Yeah, I think by the time it's through, if it's like, oh my gosh, that was a really good story.
Yeah.
Then it may drag the score of 1 up.
Yeah.
So there's room for growth.
So I'll say about a 7.
Because the score
I did think, no, I think I thought it was a little better than you all did. So I'll say a 7. Maybe not as high as like an 8, but a 7. It was interesting, and I would read the second one.
I would like to see it removed from Spider-Man and just see how it stands out on its own, but I think the webs at the end play too big of a part to remove Spider-Man.
I think that's what they felt justified in putting that, because you have a sliver of man
Yeah.
And then you have some things that have to do.
And
with
again, if by the time, I don't know if it's going to be a 5-issue miniseries or what, but by the time it concludes, if Spider-Man has played a big part in it, it could bring the series grade up as a whole.
Okay. And I'm just going to throw this out here. I guess Chameleon.
For this story?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Okay. Well, we'll review this in 4 months or whatever.
Okay.
We'll
oh man, I need you to forget that.
It's on the video, so you have a hard time forgetting.
Yeah, you're gonna. Okay.
All right, but on to Justin's next point. Next month, for March, we are going to be doing Stealth #1
by Skybound.
Skybound. So, I honestly don't know how like cutoff orders work since this isn't a Marvel or DC. It's like she said, a Skybound book. I don't know if it's something you have to contact your store about getting it, like asking them in advance if they can get it. I don't know how it works.
Should we have read what it was about?
Oh, we read what it was about.
No, I mean on video.
To them? Okay. Do you
The
have?
phone's over there.
And I'll supplement this by saying we're new to this idea, so I think we all are kind of building our hopes up for this next book. It seems very interesting, and it seems like it's going to embody the idea of this project really well. But
yeah.
You know, we could be setting ourselves up for disappointment too. That's kind of the fun of it. We're rolling the dice. It's fun.
Well, I just know we got through like the first week of stuff, and Justin was like, "Eh." And then we read this one, and Justin was like, "That is perfect."
In my defense, I thought we were only looking at the first week.
Okay, golly, this probably isn't going to help too much. I'll just go back to the new comics.
Should we do it from memory?
A 60-year-old man.
No, that's not how it starts.
Okay,
It
Jessica,
starts out
is
by
there-
like Tony Baker or something.
That's
like
the
that.
very last sentence.
No, it's not.
Tony Stark.
It's reporter
No.
Tony Baker.
Yeah. It's something about
Barkley.
a hero.
Jessica, you want to back it up right now, because when I get here, I will not have mercy. It ends with Tony.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It
No,
starts
it
with Tony and ends
doesn't.
with Tony. Didn't
No.
you watch the series?
No.
No.
I'm sorry, Justin. It's not how this one works.
But
I gotta find it.
By the way, so I didn't get to see his costume all that well. Did it remind y'all of another
there it is.
costume?
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, hold on, Jessica, hold on. Let me read it. So let's hold up fingers until we hit Tony, okay? For decades, Stealth has waged war on crime in Detroit, but now he's taken his pursuit of justice too far. Only reporter Tony Barber.
Either way, he's not the last.
None of us got that last name right.
That's almost 20 words deep.
I don't care. You were like, no, it's the last thing you read.
Tony Barber. It was Barber.
It's not the last thing you read. Keep going.
Only reporter Tony Barber knows that behind Stealth's reckless behavior is an older man battling Alzheimer, his father. A father unwilling to accept that he's no longer the hero this city needs, with enemies all too eager to force his retirement.
Mr. Barber, man, time for that retirement plan.
I don't know if that's a reference to something or
well, hang on.
a witty joke.
Is the Barber guy, is it not his dad that's still?
It said his father, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess they'd have the same last
Call him
name.
Mr. Barber.
Okay.
Or something.
Horace. His first name's got to be Horace, right?
It doesn't tell us that.
Okay.
It just
We'll
says
read it and
Stealth.
we'll find out.
I'm making too many assumptions. So okay, needless to say, we're excited for this book.
So,
Yeah.
ask your store about getting a copy of Stealth #1 and join us next month.
Where we review, and we'll try not to laugh ourselves into tears next time.
Well, yeah. That's fair.
But no promises.
That's fair. But alright, check it out, right?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
worth checking out, and you can decide for yourself if you want to keep it on your pool or how you want to approach that. But thank you guys
Yep.
for watching. Keep it
See you
classy,
next
San
time.
Diego.
Stop.
Well, I have a cat on me.